I'm Wanda with Jimmy Branch Homestead, and if you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm starting a new flock of chicks and also expanding on my current ones. So, over the last 2 days, I have picked up 30 chicks, and I also have 22 eggs currently in the incubator. So, the incubator's due to go off in about another week. And so what I want to do is divide up this chicken coop I made. So here is 12 of the new chicks. I actually got 32. So these are Plymouth Barred Rocks. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I have 4 currently, and I've been looking to expand my group. So these just came home with me today in the house, and I'll show you here in a little bit when I bring them out. I have 10 Rhode Island Reds and 10 White Leghorns. Now, both the Barred Rocks and the Rhode Island Reds are dual-purpose birds, meaning they are good egg layers, but they are also good meat birds. So that is part of the reason that I want to expand my flock like that. Now, all I've been able to get of any of these breeds is pullets. So they tell me that there's an 80% chance that I got all pullets, so that means 20% chance I have a rooster in each of these groups. So I'm kind of hoping I have one rooster in each group. So that I can, in the future, incubate my own eggs. That's kind of the purpose of being able to raise dual purpose. I'll have layers, and then I'll want to be able to incubate 4 meat birds. So, the first thing I need to do today is I want to run a 2-foot wire from that end to that end, which will block off about 1/3 of the coop for the chickens in the incubator. Now, although I have 22 eggs, I usually hatch about 16 of those. But it just depends on how many are actually fertilized. So I got some work to do today. Then, it's really hot today, so I don't even have a heat lamp on them right now. I think they're plenty warm enough. They look like they're doing just fine. But I will be putting heat lamps in here and getting it all ready so that I can get them in here. And the wind comes in this end, so when I get this done, right now I need the airflow for me. And there will always be airflow here at the top that I never close off. And at this end, I'll put a tarp that I can roll up during the day when on hot days and roll down at night or cold days. So I just finished this chicken coop a couple days ago. Hopefully you've seen those videos. I'm going to try and get those edited and posted before this one. I'm not sure how many segments or parts it will be in. It did take me a couple of weeks to build it because A, I was building it by myself, and B, I didn't get to work on it every day. There was almost a whole week that we had a lot of rain and storms, so didn't get to work on it. So I'm going to gather materials and then I'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is run a cord so that I can hook up a couple of heat lamps for them. And so I've ran a cord, and then I will put some screws up here to hold this underneath it. Wrapped it around my support beam that I'm going to hang the feeders and waters from. So let me grab a couple more screws, get those in, and then I need to go get my heat lamp because these chicks They were kind of in the wind over there, so I put them up against this one wall. Seems like most of the wind's coming in this way and over there. They don't act like they're cold because they're not all huddled up and everything, but I want to make sure I get hooked up for heat lamps because they are going to be out here tonight. In fact, I'm going to bring the others out here as well. I'm debating on whether I'm going to leave them in the tubs overnight. Part of me, I think I might. But if I let them loose in here, then they will be able to go under the lamp if they want and get far enough away from it if they get too warm. So, okay, sorry I didn't film that, but I'm really in a hurry trying to get a lot of stuff done today. So what I did is I, on one end, zip tied it to the outer wire, and along the bottom I did 2x4s, and on the inside every once in a while I did a piece of a 2x4 just to keep the wire tied up against 2x4s. I didn't want to cut this off the roll because I am going to reuse this wire. But this is just temporary, and I think it'll work just fine. So I'll just kind of move this feed bucket up against this wire just to make sure it doesn't tip over or anything. There we go. And so that section is done. I'll just need to get a heat lamp for in there as well. I'll probably put it like down right here so it'll work on both sides. So now I gotta go find the heat lamps and get them hung up before I hang the end tarps because it's hot today and it's a little windy for the chicks, but that's why I have them down in the bucket still until I get these ends closed up. Whew. So on hot days like today, usually the wind comes from that far end. So on hot days, well, it feels like it's coming from this direction too right now. So I'm not sure which way the wind's blowing today. But on hot days that the wind's blowing just from that side, then I can open this side, or if it's blowing from the other side, I can open this end. And then just close it up when it's cool, or on cold days. So I'm still going to leave those in there until I get everything set up and I'm getting out, because I don't want to take a chance of stepping on any of them. Okay, so I have the end closed off where most of the wind comes from. And I have the chicks down at this end more so that they're not getting the direct wind that might be coming in there, or the direct cold. I think I'm going to hold off on bringing the other chicks out tonight. They're in the house. It's late afternoon. I'm just going to give them more food and water. Keep them in the house. Make sure these do okay out here. See what the temperature's going to be the next few days. And I still got one more heat lamp to get out here. And to close up this end so it won't be too cold at night. And I'll make it to where I can get into it pretty easy, but exciting, but a little worried about this excessive wind. I think it's only supposed to be in the 50s tonight, so with the heat lamp they still should be fine. Plus I kind of am going to leave them in that tote overnight. They got plenty of room in there. That'll give them, you know, a little bit more protection against any wind. Okay, so I have the other light hung. I just don't have it plugged in. Just have the one over their brooder. Oops. Yeah, I guess you can see better when I'm closer. And I've also put a lid over this half of the brooder, hoping to hold in some more of the heat. But I have the other end blocked off, and then I'd use zip ties on the other end and zip ties on this one side here and down. I put this trash can here to kind of try to help hold the tarp in place a little better. And then I use these bungee ties for over the door. So of course I have to take this whole half off and open it before I can open the door, or it's going to tear up the tarp. So I used a bungee here, one here, tucked in the corner up under the roof, a bungee here, and a bungee down here. So I'll get that. It doesn't quite go to the edge over here. I mean, it's good, it gives them some air. I'm just trying to keep it warm enough in there. So it should be fine, because I know other people have brooders in their sheds. So it should be at least as warm in here. I'll check back tomorrow. Just a moment for you. Okay, so I checked on the chicks that were in the coop last night, and they're doing great. I have put the 20 chicks that I bought the day before back in a box. I've had them in a bin in the house with a heat lamp, and they're going to move in this coop today too. Okay, so all 32 chicks are now in the coop, and it's all set up. They do have 2 heat lamps. It does get pretty warm in here in hot weather. Right now it's really nice in here, and they have some fresh air if they come over to this side, which a lot of them are enjoying laying in the sun and scratching over here in this corner. There was a couple red and yellow ones over here a minute ago, but oh, some of them found the feeder. They decided to eat. So they have plenty of water. I put a thing of chick grit in there. And I will close this up at night. But last night, honestly, it didn't get below 68. It was really hot in the house. So once the chicks are bigger, I will take the tarps off the ends just so they have lots of ventilation. It's just that right now they're not supposed to get below, 70 to 90 degrees. So I want to make sure that they stay warm enough and out of the wind. But like I said, when they get about a month old, I'll just take the tarps off. And then in the winter time, I will build wood here across it. First I'll start with one on the bottom, and a lot of times leave the tops open and the door, and then I'll end up closing everything up over the door too. So this coop does not have a run built yet. I have this frame here from Temu that I'm going to figure out how to attach it with the coop so there's no place for them to escape nor for predators to get in. Okay, so I thought yesterday was hatching day, but evidently it is today. I was off by a day. And I have at least 5 that are pipped. So this one here is number 2, and it's pipped right here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't see a pip on 3 yet. Number 4 is, you can't really see it. It's like right over by the edge of the egg. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. Number 5 has a big hole in it. So that's good. Number 6 is pipped. I don't know if you can see it kind of right in here. Number 7, I don't see a pip. Number 8, let me see if I can get the camera there. Has that hole in it there. Number 9 has a pip in the end. And that is the only ones that I see pipped right now. So I'll check back later. Okay, well, it is about 9:10 in the evening, and so far we have 5 chicks hatched out. 4 of them are the Easter eggers, and 1 is a black copper Moran. This is the black copper Moran here. And we have several more that are getting ready to hatch. This again is another black copper Moran. Let's see. Those were climbing around there, and so I can't hardly see. Okay, this one is pipped on the inside. It's kind of dark in here. Let's see if I can get some light on the subject. That one over there is getting close. That one's pipped. It's getting close too because it's on the inside. Can't really get a good shot of it. Number 9 is breaking out. There's one in the middle there that's a blue one. Not sure if you can see it. This is a black copper Moran. So we will check back later. Okay, it is 12:30 at night, and this is the second copper Moran that has hatched. I had 4 eggs total of the copper Morans. He just hatched, he or she. And number 3 over here is pipping. And there's one back over here. Now let me see if I can get a can of light here. Kind of glaring. Back there in the middle, there's one pipped. So number 3, back here in the middle, 2. I try to get the eggshells out when they're good and separated from them, just because it gives them more room when they're trying to hatch. First couple have a pretty hard time because they're so crowded in there. So I'm really hoping I have 1 male and 1 female copper Moran, at least. So we will see. I have 2 chicks. I don't know what sex they are. Okay, so we will check back either in the morning or if I wake up again and come see how they're doing. Well, the chicks are about 3 days old now. Sorry, they were sleeping. I just startled them. And we ended up with 11 healthy chicks, 2 black copper Morans, and 9 Easter egger chicks. So most of these Easter egger chicks was from my eggs from my hens. 2 black copper Morans was from a friend of mine, as well as 2 of the Easter egger chicks. So Not a very good hatch rate this time. I've never ever had this bad of a hatch rate in this incubator. So 11 eggs did not hatch. I left them in here a couple extra days, actually 3, just to make sure. And I will probably take them out and break them. I don't want to break them in here because they're going to stink to high heaven. And just see if there was any embryo in them or what. I did candle this one earlier and didn't think it was viable, but I wasn't 100% sure because the only candler I have is on my harvest right, and I really need to get one, a good one that I can set the egg on top of the harvest right there, and then the little flashlight kind that goes over the top. The black copper morans are such a thick, dark shell. I couldn't see anything in those, so I had no idea. So I was happy to at least have gotten 2. I'm really hoping I got 1 of each. My luck, I probably got 2 roosters. But I tried to candle several of these this time, and I've never done that before, so the eggs were disturbed more than usually. I just put them in here, leave them alone. Just check the humidity and keep the water in as needed. And I'm thinking because I disturbed them more, it may have, I don't know. So I won't know for sure until I break these open and see if there was even any embryos in them. So very disappointing this time. But I already have 32 chicks in that coop outside, so, and they're growing like crazy. These will go out in a couple more days. I just like to keep them in here for the first 5 or 6 days, so up to a week, 5 to 7 days. And then they will be in a different fenced off side of that coop because obviously they're much smaller than the ones that are 2 weeks old out there. Okay, so these guys will be 1 week old tomorrow. I have 9 Easter egger chicks and 2 black copper morans. It's going to be cold this week, so I'm going to try and keep them inside 1 more week before I put them out in the brooder coop with the little bit older chicks. And remember, I do have those divided. So, okay, so it is the first Saturday in May, and I've had these baby chicks since April 16th and 17th. Hello, chick. And they are doing great. Their wings and tails are fully feathered. They're working on their breast feathers. I'm noticing that the white leghorns, the breast feathers are coming in quicker than the Rhode Island Reds, although theirs is coming in too, which seems to be a little bit quicker for some reason than the Barred Rocks. So they are doing great. The ones in the house will be coming out here in the next few days. We have some cool nights this week, so I'm kind of trying to keep them in the house for 2 weeks. I don't know if I can stand up that long because they get to kind of smelly a little bit. So we'll see. Of course, they'll have the heat lamps out here. And I only have 11 in the house, so I may end up shortening this. When I built this, I had 22 in the incubator, and I usually get about 15 or 16. And for some reason, this time I only got 11. So, well, I did check the eggs and found out that many of them were not fertilized. So that is why. But I have a very high fertilization rate on my Easter eggers since I only have 8 hens and 1 rooster. And most of those all hatched. So, got them this little chick roosting bar. So I got them a 5-gallon water for inside. Since there are so many of them, looks like I need to clean it out again. They maybe hire it a little bit yet. And I have a 7-gallon water that's going to go in the run once I get that done. So keep an eye out for that video when I'm building the run, getting ready to attach it to the coop here. Okay, so these chicks are about 3 weeks old now, growing like crazy, and I have a little problem. My idea of separating the coop with this wire here is not going to work, because guess what? I have chicks flying over into the other side. So I'm going to have to take this out and put in another structure for the younger chicks, because I don't want them to be picked on by the big ones yet. They need to get closer to the same size. So, or at least bigger than they are. So they're not going to be able to have this much room to run in. And at least a temporary solution, I'm going to put them in a large dog kennel lined with, with hardware cloth around it so they don't get stuck in it. Oh. So I need to catch these chicks and get them back on the other side so they can eat and drink. Okay, so this is the dog kennel that I want to use for the newest baby chicks. And I'm going to put hardware cloth on the sides. It does have a tray that goes in the bottom of it here. But I'm going to try and do it without the tray if possible. But I may end up having to put the tray in it. The reason I would like to do it without the tray is because then I can set the bottom down on the bottom floor of the chicken coop and just have the bedding there. So I may decide to put hardware cloth on the bottom as well if I ever use this for a timeout station, or I have sick chickens or that kind of thing. So to start with, I need to measure the sides and the ends to know the hardware cloth will come about up to here, which for while it's in the chicken coop is fine. I don't have to go the rest of the way up. And that's going all the way to the bottom so they don't crawl out the bottom. So I'll get the dimensions on that, and then I'll have to go get the hardware cloth cut. Okay, so I have moved to the garage because it's mizzling out there today, and I just don't feel like getting wet. So I measured the long sides, and they are 48 inches. I've already cut one for the back of the hardware cloth, and it will go all the way to the bottom here, so the chicks can't get out the side here. And so I want to now measure the end here. And it is 29 inches. So I will cut another one at 29 inches, and then I'll be back. So this is a fold-up dog kennel. I'm going to have to fold it up to get it inside the chicken coop. So I have to be careful and not put the ties around the whole corner where it won't fold up. It's not going to go all the way to the top, but as long as I'm using this in the chicken coop, that's okay. If I end up using this outside later, then I will want to add up to here so that rats cannot get into it. And I'll also want to put a bottom in it. And that would be if, you know, I end up with some sick chickens or a new chicken to the homestead. You know, we want to quarantine them before we put them in with our other flocks. Make sure they don't have any diseases, sick, or mites, or anything like that. Okay, I'm just going to repeat the process for the other side, and I'll be back when I get it together. Okay, so got it all together and folded down. Of course, these come out past it because that's the way I designed it. I didn't want the chicks coming through the bottom here where the tray goes. So we'll just put this on the wagon, take it over there, and hopefully it will pop up real easily. Okay, so it is all ready for them now. I just need to fill up their water and bring it out with the chicks. Okay, they are all set up in their temporary home. And the welcome wagon is over there checking them out. At the other end of the cage too. They aren't sure what to think about it yet. I will still be covering the ends at night for the newer chicks for a few more days till at least they start, probably another week till they get more of their feathers. So if you're enjoying this type of video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share our videos on your social media. It's the best way you can help our channel to grow. Thank you so much for watching Jimmy Branch Homestead. Take care and God bless.